Hey plant fam! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This is my jungle, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today we are starting episode 1 of my new series on how to breed your Anthurium. So we're going to start from the beginning, the very basics, and we're going to move all the way up until we have seedlings. So stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed. It's going to be a process, and I'm going to take you guys along with me and show you everything that you need to know when your Anthurium are going to flower, and then what to do when they do give you flowers. So today we're going to start off with knowing when your Anthurium are going to flower. You'll hear people use the phrase in cataphyll. What does that mean? What does cataphyll growth look like? And how can we recognize that in our plants? So I'm going to start with just the really basic definition of what a cataphyll is. And it's basically just a little protective sheath that will come out to protect your new leaves, and it usually doesn't happen on a plant until it reaches a more mature phase. So a way to know when your Anthurium are going to flower is by looking at their growth, and that is how we can tell whether or not the plant is mature enough to flower. So I have some examples here that I'm going to show you guys. I also have a really helpful graphic that I can put on screen for you. But essentially, when your Anthurium is in cataphyll or has cataphyll growth, it's going to look like this. So as you can see, there is this separate, this is a cataphyll right here, sticking up from the plant. So in the beginning phases of growing out your Anthurium, it's going to look like this. It's going to look like the cataphyll is attached to the last leaf, and this newest leaf emerged from the sheath of the petiole on this last leaf. And that is going to keep on happening when your plant is immature. So you're going to get new growth coming from the petiole of the last leaf out, and then eventually you're going to get to a phase where the new leaves are just coming directly off of the stem and not out of petiole on the last plant. So I hope that that makes I hope that that makes sense. I'm going to over explain it again, and I'm going to show you multiple examples. Okay, little girl, what's the matter? You want to go out? My cat's in here. Do you guys want to see her? Like, it's your first time on the channel. This is Lily. Hi, honey. She gets spayed in a couple of days, and then she's gonna stop yelling, running around yelling, trying to find my male cat. So this is Lily. We're gonna let her leave because she's yelling. Okay, so you could probably still hear her out there yelling. I apologize for that, but to reiterate, when your Anthurium are small, the new growth is going to come from the petiole of the last leaf. You can see it here on this newest leaf. It's got a new one here that it's going to push out. So the new leaf is coming off of the petiole from the last leaf. That is still an immature Anthurium. I would not call this mature or flowering size. However, this one absolutely is. So this is a no ID, by the way, and this is a Pap Dresslary. So she should be actually giving me an inflow very soon. So the new leaf is going to come from the cataphyll, and then the inflow is going to come from where the leaves used to come from on the petiole. So a lot of time people will be like, what's my Anthurium doing? Why is it pushing 2 leaves at the same time from the same spot? But in reality, a lot of the times what you're getting is an inflow. And this guy behind me is a really good example of that. So this is one of my favorite Anthurium. This is a Pap Woo 6 Ace of Spades dark form, and she's just, if I can get her in here without hitting the microphone, I apologize if I hit the microphone. She's a really great example of what cataphyll looks like. So you could see her new leaf is coming from here. This is the cataphyll itself. the little sheath. The new leaf is coming from here, and you could see, but what? Like, it looks like another leaf is coming from here, but in reality, this is going to be the new leaf, and this is going to be a flower, also referred to as an inflorescence on aroids. So you will hear people commonly refer to them as inflow. So the new leaf is going to come from here, from the cataphyll, and the inflow is going to come from the petiole on the leaf. So you can actually see right here where there was an inflow already. It just was cut off because it was dead. So isn't she just absolutely stunning? I can't wait to pollinate her next inflow. The first one was, it aborted itself, which is really common with Anthurium as well, so don't stress yourself out if your first inflow is unsuccessful. It's not really recommended to try and pollinate the first one anyway, because they usually abort themselves. So, but isn't she gorge? And she grew so fast too. She was just this tiny little babe like 8 months ago. She's my favorite, but she's a really, really, really good example. I'll take like a better picture and put it on screen for you guys so that you can see her up close. This is what it means for your plant to be flowering size. This is what it means when you hear people say that it is in cataphyll or it has cataphyll growth. Being in cataphyll does not guarantee that you're going to get an inflow, but it means that the plant is of flowering size. It means that it is mature enough to flower, to give you an inflow. This is the plant, this is her first inflow that she's ever given. She's super teeny tiny. There's not going to be much that I can do with that. If I get a little bit of pollen, maybe I'll collect it and put it in the freezer, but otherwise there's not much I can do with that. So hopefully this was helpful. I know it's just going to be a really quick one, but I wanted to make sure that we had a separate video discussing what it means for your Anthurium to be in cataphyll, because I was so confused by that in the beginning. I was like, what does that mean? What does it look like? How do I know? Because when you're out there in the world and you're buying them and you want to buy one that's mature enough to flower, that is what you want to look for. So granted, some take a lot longer to get to this place. Some of them will go into cataphyll really, really young and really, really small, and others take a little bit more time. So it is going to vary species to species, hybrid to hybrid. It really just kind of depends on the plant. But if you want your Anthurium to mature faster, you're going to want to upsize them. Like, look at these roots. She's ready for an up pot. And honestly, once I do up pot her, her leaves are going to get much bigger, and she's just going to continue to give me more and more inflows that are bigger and juicier that we can actually do something with. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. The next thing that we're going to discuss is how to properly collect and store pollen off of your Anthurium once you do get an inflow. So stay tuned for that. I hope that you guys found this helpful. If you still have questions, please, please, please leave them in the comments below so that I can address them and help you guys out, because I really, really was so confused at first when people were like, it's in cataphyll. I'm like, I know what a cataphyll is. Most plants have them. That's the little sheath that the new leaf comes out from, and I love plucking off the crusty ones off of like my pothos. I can't be the only one who does that. Like when they turn brown and crusty, I love plucking them off of the plant. But I hope that this was helpful, because I didn't have a video like this when I was getting into Anthurium. So share this with your friends and make sure that you're subscribed and that you hit your notification bell so you don't miss the rest of this series. So also, you should give it a thumbs up. I gotta do the spiel. Don't forget to subscribe, all that good stuff. And again, if you still have questions, please, 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 or any questions in general about Anthurium care and how to breed them, leave them in the comments below so that I know what videos to make for you guys next. Okay? Okay, I love you. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are out there in the world. And I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!
I should've known it was too good to be true. Thinking anything real would come out of someone like you. I'm a fool. I guess the prettiest girls use idiots like me. 힘들어 심장이 꺼졌나 어린 듯이 멈췄어 내 마음 때린 건 I'm so lost Thought it was LOVE Why was I too blind to see That you were just using me And it's more than I can say 그게 잘 안 돼 널 정리하는 게 I should've known spoiled girls like you Just want a toy to break So you can take what you want Go break my heart if you want Till I got nothing to lose Till I got nothing to give Yeah, you can take what you want Hate me and leave me to dry Cause girls like you just toss away your shit Just like I'm so